Hello, my name is Chris and welcome. This is Chris's Country Kitchen and today we're going to make streusel coffee cake. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make your cake and then we'll make the topping. So what you'll need is 1.5 cup of flour. Dump it in there. Okay. You will need 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then a 3/4 cup sugar. Okay, and then you just want to mix that a little bit. Okay, next you'll add your 1/4 cup of oil. And 1 egg. It's really a good recipe. This was something I grew up with. My mom always made it. And this is 1/2 cup of milk then that you'll add. And that's basically all that you have to do after this is mixed up. This is the base for your cake. Just stir the sides a little bit. But usually I make 2, so this is just for a single recipe. And so you'll maybe want to double your ingredients that I've listed. So all done for that. Now the next thing you want to do, you want to take and put 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, which I've done and put in my bowl. And then you want to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of flour. And to that, you want to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter, which when you stir that a little bit and then add the butter in, it makes a nice crumb mixture. So this is like cake and then layer of crumbs. And then you want to stir that around, okay? And then you want to put the streusel topping on the first layer of cake, and then the second layer you'll put on top of the streusel. So this is really a good recipe for any kind of brunch or anything that you're serving. It's a good coffee cake to give as for someone maybe getting out of the hospital, or just giving it as a gift even. Always had this growing up, like I said, and it was really a good recipe. So you get your mixture sort of mixed up like that. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you divide your dough here sort of evenly, because if you don't, you won't have enough for the top of the cake. So I'd rather go skimpy on the bottom than I would on the top. And like I said, this is quite simple, but it's just that knowing, that it's got to be measured out sort of, so you don't get too skimpy on the top. So here's my cake, and I'll just put that in the bottom of my pan, about half of it. You can sort of tell that if the bottom gets all coated, then it's usually the right amount that you poured in. So I'll show you that in a second. But this is, like I said. Okay, so there's what the bottom layer looks like. And now we're going to add half of this mixture of the streusel. And you just sort of take your hand and sprinkle it on top. And I try to, be generous with both layers. So there you go. Now, this is what I do to finish this top, is I take and sort of put globs on the top of the cake, because it just spreads a little easier. So just take my spatula and just glob it on until I go all around, and then you can sort of smooth it out, and that works better. So yeah, When you're done, then you're going to put it in a 375-degree oven that's been preheated, and it'll be in there for 25 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven. But this, like I said, pretty simple recipe. Okay. Now, when you're all done spreading this, you'll see I just take my spatula ever so gently, and you want to maybe even do it towards the edge of the pan so that you don't, so get that around, okay, and then you want to put the topping on after we're done here, okay, just about done here. And like I said, this was a recipe my mom made, so for me, it was all about the love of having this served fresh and warm and coming in and having Mom serve us this, and it's always a special treat. And I guess what brings to mind is the verse from 1 John 3:11. Now I'll get my verse here. It says in 1 John 3:11, "For this is the message that you heard from the beginning, that we should love one another." And so, especially at this time, we think of families and we think of our loved ones and one another. That is truly the message that we should be sharing. So this is my cake ready to go into that oven that we've preheated at 375. But when you get done, this is what it will come out and look like. So I always had a little bit of butter to put on mine too, because that was something Mom always did, was, you know, butter our coffee cake, which you don't really need to, but it's a good thing. So anyway, if you like this video, please press like and also subscribe and tell your friends. So thank you very much, and God bless you.